I was really mulling over what I wanted this video, my first video back to be. It became quite easy once Shaquille O'Neal just continues to give us an example of why he is the biggest example of boomer energy in sports media, and it's not even close. So Shaquille O'Neal, like almost every other week, is trying to really one-up these young stars and show them how it was done back in the 80s and 90s and how he was taught basketball. And he likes to give a lot of these like just unnecessary and honestly sometimes borderline rude jabs. We all know why Shaq sucks in the media. I like Shaq, like somewhat. It's hard to hate Shaq, but the more and more this kind of shit happens, the more and more I'm just going to be like, maybe you're just a dick. Shaq comes out and says, what did he say? Yeah, so he called him a crybaby. Just from what I've seen, Ben Simmons, just kind of shrank a little bit in the playoffs, and then his coach said he wasn't, he didn't really back him up all the way, and then his star player didn't back him up all the way, and then he kind of fled. Is that weird? Yeah, that's weird to me. I think there's more going on, but it would be very insensitive of me to get like 4 face value small information about somebody's mental health and then come out and make this not only bold but insulting proclamation that he's a crybaby and that he doesn't like playing basketball. I think that's really absurd. Maybe he just doesn't really deal with pressure as well as somebody like Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq, I know you like to do this whole like, I want to make them come up hard. These Gen Zers or millennials, I don't know which ones they are, but I want to make them, really earn it, and that's how I was taught, right? I understand, Shaq, but the way I was taught is maybe the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Because, Shaq, if you're trying to say that the life of a sports athlete of the 80s and 90s is the same as somebody in 2022 is absolutely ludicrous. I don't mean to go all Stephen A on you, but it's ludicrous. It's blasphemous. Gargantuanly incorrect information. That was stupid. But it's wild to me that we feel entitled to say that what we think Ben Simmons is because he doesn't want to play basketball. And like, look, I understand that it's a little weird, and I personally don't know why he's not playing. I understand that you kind of, it didn't really go well in the playoffs, and then your coach didn't back you up, but whatever. For me, I don't think I would react that way. However, I'm not Ben Simmons. I'm not 6'10". I didn't get drafted number 1 from LSU. And Shaq to come out and say, oh, what the hell did he say? He said, Ben Simmons is mad at me because I'm his LSU brother. No, Shaq, he's not mad at you because you're his LSU brother. He's mad at you because you're Shaquille O'Neal and you went on live television and you said a grown other man is a crybaby. That's why he's mad at you, Shaq. It's really not that complicated. You're just a dick. And then Shaq, and then so okay, whatever. That all that shit happens, and then Ben Simmons hits him up with the DM and goes, "Hey, and as he should, because Shaq, you're a dick." And then Shaq goes on his podcast, another source of him making money out of all these takes, by the way, just goes on his podcast and goes, yeah, man, I'll chill out. He told me to chill out. Maybe you shouldn't have to wait for somebody to tell you to chill out. Maybe you should be a grown adult who has, like, millions and gazillions of dollars and millions of people listening to him and, like, the influence that Shaq has. Maybe think a little bit about how somebody else's mental health could be affected by your answer, Shaq. It's like, Shaq, I've seen too many examples to give you the benefit of the doubt here. Because there have been numerous times when numerous former players will say something that's kind of off-putting, but I don't completely judge them on that one statement because that's ridiculous to do. Because why would you do that? Because people are complex, Shaq. Do you think Ben Simmons is just wants to waste millions of dollars? I mean, guys, he's giving up millions of dollars. Do you think that there's maybe a reason that he doesn't want to play? Maybe. a reason. It's not like he's sitting at home cashing in all this money while he's sitting on his ass. He's getting fined thousands and thousands of dollars, and he's going to lose a year's worth of salary. Maybe Ben Simmons actually has, like, human emotions, and something's going on, and there's something more to it. And I'm not here to diagnose somebody, but I am here to say that those are options. And it's ridiculous to just call somebody a crybaby without acknowledging those options. I'm sorry, last point, but the whole thing about him, it's real convenient to me that instead of, oh, I want to show these young guns, what it's all about. How about, Shaq? If you were really interested in actually teaching the I don't want to say youth, but the prime of the NBA youth in the NBA, and you wanted to show them how it's done, and whatever your whole motto is, maybe just send them a DM. Send them, dude. It's so easy. It's. I would say it's probably a lot easier than saying it on television. But you decided to say it on television, Shaq. Why was that? Oh, probably because you made a lot of money from it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And like same thing with your podcast now that you have. Again, Shaq, I love it that you're entrepreneurial. Your entrepreneurial drive, right? I love it. I love the podcast. You're pumping out the content, man. I like where you're going. But Jesus Christ, man, like maybe can you see how just like shitting on somebody and then profiting from that as somebody's dealing with like probably the biggest mental struggle they've ever dealt with in their entire life, and now they have even more millions of people sliding into their DMs and sliding into their comments, which you never had to deal with because you grew up in the 80s and 90s or, in the NBA. So can you see how those situations would be different, Shaq? Can you see now? Okay, cool. I'm glad that we can acknowledge that you suck in the media at this point. You really do. You're funny, and you and Charles are a good. And I love the TNT crew, but I'm getting real goddamn tired of this boomer energy in sports acting like Bob Cousy could last with Steph Curry on the perimeter. That's just not happening, bruh. Kevin Durant would baptize people, bro. So stop with this whole boomer energy in basketball. Jesus Christ.